Heyo,
What's up, folks?
it's the Danny boy.
And Bill Corpus Crispy Murphy. Happy
Welcome.
Monday.
Yes,
Happy extended weekend for some of us.
yeah. Well, I mean, Donald Trump is calling it Columbus Day, but
You know what? Today has been called a bunch of different things. Columbus Day, Indigenous People Day, Italian Heritage Day. You know what? I'm going to call it a day that offends no one. And you know what that is, Reg?
what?
Happy random Monday in October that we get off.
Exactly.
See, it offends no one.
Like, let's be honest, Bill. When you grew up having Columbus Day off, did you actually care about Columbus Day? Like, I didn't give two flying fucks
Like,
about.
I remember we would talk about it, like, 1492, Columbus sailed the ocean blue, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Ninta Pinta Santa Maria, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, but
And then,
we all knew that was a lie, though. Like,
yeah, but when we were young, we just didn't really think of the history of that.
well, yeah, because we didn't give a shit. That's why. Like
You know what we thought of it as?
what?
Cool, it's a day off from school.
Yeah, it was good. Exactly. So look,
Cool, it's actually cool, it's a day off from school. Cool, it's a long weekend.
obviously now that we know the actual history of Christopher Columbus and the crap that he did, it looks awful. But let's be real. No one gave a shit about what the name was called until people actually exposed the history. And at that point, people still don't care. So. You can go wherever the heck you want. I honestly don't care. It
So, so, so
doesn't bother me anymore because it's not a day off from work or a holiday, so it's not like I'm getting paid for it. But whatever.
but hey, happy random Monday in October.
The random Monday in October. It's
That
not
that some of us get off.
some of us, not all of us. Um, well, it's not a good Monday if you're the Jets. We'll talk about them in a little bit. Um, and a bunch of other things in the NFL. We'll also get to the the American and National League Championship Series. The
Dude, when
NFL
it comes to
starts tonight.
football, I'm sitting here with a big old smile.
Yeah, it must have been a very nice weekend for you.
It was
You
a
know,
lovely weekend. If you're a New
you
York Giants fan, this weekend was absolutely freaking great.
you get to watch all the chaos while you just chill at home and you can sip on whatever drink or cocktail you want.
I'm just, you know what I was doing this weekend during all this chaos?
Yeah,
Put my
exactly.
feet up, back
Watch
so.
watch everyone else go through the nonsense that they have to go through.
I'm having my feet up,
Mhm.
have my beer in hand, and just sit back and laugh. And the Jets had the pleasure again of sucking on two continents.
Yeah, man. That was a disaster, man. That was not good.
The
Um,
game was closer. The score was closer than the game actually was.
you know what it is? Well, here's a couple of things we learned in that game, Bill. We learned that the Denver Broncos are frauds because that offense is terrible. Um, we learned that the Jet defense, when healthy, is actually good, very good, might I add. The Jets defense has not been healthy all season. So we learned that they actually have some good key playmakers. I know they added a playmaker in Brownlee for this game, and he was terrific. They got Jermaine Johnson back, which was a jolt that they needed. You really want to talk about ice in the veins? That's exactly what Jermaine Johnson provided. So we learned that. And then we learned that the Jets offense, led by the great Justin Fields, doesn't perform well. And that Aaron Glenn is very incompetent right now. Right now. It doesn't mean that he won't be a great coach down the road, but right now he sucks. That's what we learned
Yeah.
about that Jet game.
Yeah, I'll tell you this, but and the game was close yesterday, but what I just said though, Reg, the score was actually closer than the game actually was.
Well, like I said, both offenses were terrible yesterday. They were.
And I have to tell you stories from a few Jet fans yesterday. One, young man who goes to my church, his name is Dominic. And if he happens to be watching this, Dominic, shout out to you, good buddy. Um, Big Jet fan. I remember beforehand, because he does the collection like I do. And I said, I'm surprised you're here today. I thought you'd be home watching the game. He goes, don't worry, that's being closely monitored. And he had it on his Apple Watch.
Mhm.
I'm like, clever. So, are
Yeah.
you taping it? He's like, of course I am.
Yep.
And also to my lovely girlfriend, Samantha Black, she posted on Facebook yesterday, I'm just gonna sell all my Jet stuff right now. This team is an absolute disgrace.
Yeah. Um, I just don't know what else to tell you. Look, and again, this is nothing against Justin Fields. I'm sure he'll still be in the league. He'll still be a backup, whatever it is. And look, the Jets did heavily invest in him financially wise. They invested in him big time. And I think this season the Jets were banking on Justin Fields being good. Like I truly believe that. What we saw yesterday with Justin Fields at quarterback and Tanner Angstren as your coordinator, like the play calling wasn't great, but most importantly, Justin Fields was not operating an offense. And look, has Justin Fields had better games this season? Yeah, he's had much better games this season. But the one thing that has remained constant is that Fields cannot lead this team to a victory. And when it's halftime and you don't trust him, and it's very obvious that the New York Jets did not trust Justin Fields to throw the football because he can't pass the football.
He can't
Uh,
pass the damn football.
he's not a great passer. Everyone knew this going into the season. Um, you just knew when the New York Jets had no faith in him to run an offense in a 2-minute drill on both halves. 2-minute drill at the end of both halves. When you don't trust him to do the simplest things on a 2-minute drill, doesn't that give you a sign? Hey, we need to go in a different direction. We just went through this with Zach Wilson. If the guy doesn't have it, even if it's just for one game, if he doesn't have it, give your team a chance to win. Don't you think you owe your team a chance to win when you have this good of a defense and this good of a special teams performance as well? The special teams who, despite the kick returners and the punt returners, have actually done a very nice job. That Austin McNamara, the punt kicker, he's actually done a very solid job this season, flipping field position. So when you have a great special teams performance and you have a great defensive performance, you owe it to your team to, put in a quarterback that actually knows how to win. But the Jets don't make any changes. They don't make a change at halftime. And I highly doubt they're going to make a change for Carolina this week. So this is where we're at, Jet fans. This is where we're at. We have a coach, first timer, learning on the job. This is exactly what I was worried about, Bill. Learning on the job, he has no clue what he's doing. How could he know what he's doing? He's learning on the job. And now we're 0-6, staring at one of the worst seasons in franchise history. And Again, I think Aaron Glenn's a good guy. I actually think Aaron Glenn's a good coach. I see what he's trying to do, Bill, but he doesn't have the capability of executing it yet.
And because you want to know, I want to know something, Reg. Who are the Jets exactly tanking for?
Well, but the question is, I don't even think they're tanking. I just think they're just bad. I don't think they're trying to tank. Now, I think they should tank at this point because they're not making the playoffs. Let's be real about it. They're not making the playoffs. I don't think they're trying to tank. I think they're just bad. They're just incompetent. They're incompetent.
You want to know something? Remember how I just said that my girlfriend Sam is thinking about selling all her Jet stuff?
Yeah.
She also told me she might convert to being a Giants fan.
But you can't just do that. You can't just convert. Like you do
Who
what?
says she can't?
Why? Because they're winning. That's
And
such that
I'm like saying like, hey, I would be saying like,
no,
babe, we're not doing much better.
no. Like no. I'm gonna convert to being a Giants fan because they're winning. Like no.
But come on, it'd be nice to have us root
You're
for
in
the
it.
same
You're in it for the
team.
long run. You're in this for the long one. You can't just quit.
It'd be cool to have us root for the same team, though.
Nah. Look, she can do whatever the heck she wants. I honestly don't care. But
But she
uh,
said, I don't think she can convert. She said, her words, I don't. She goes, I've been a Jet fan since birth.
yeah,
That's like asking me to become a Jet fan. Reggie, you know that's not going to happen.
yeah, yeah. Obviously, there's no rules to sports fandom, but it's like, no, you can't just
I can make a small exception of these.
you can't just quit on a team because they stink. Like, no.
Sam, Dan, I can make some exceptions to the rule.
Mm,
And you know who
well,
that exception is.
who?
That exception's my girlfriend. I can make an exception to that.
Well, but for you, you know why you want it to happen. Like, come on now.
I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. You know,
It is.
we've been doing this show for 5 years. You and I've been friends for what, 12 years now?
Yeah,
You know, come on, you know how it is.
yeah. You're selfish.
I'm not selfish.
We all have some types of selfishness.
If my girlfriend is watching, I don't know if she'd be laughing with me or she'd want to smack me later. Probably a little bit of both.
Oh my God.
Um,
Well, she should be smacking Aaron Glenn for that crap ass coaching performance. That's what she'd be doing.
there's not enough dancing he can do that can get him out of this.
Yeah. And then, yesterday when talking to reporters, he was asked by Brian Costello, he's a Jet B reporter, um, whether he was willing to make a change at quarterback, and his response was, "What kind of question was that? What do you mean, what kind of question was that? That is a legitimate question. Your quarterback is not playing well. So yeah, we're gonna question whether or not he is fit to be a NFL offense, leading an NFL style offense as a starter. Yeah, we're gonna question that stuff. Is that a problem to you, Aaron Glenn? Is that a problem to you?
That is a problem. Yeah, listen, he can't dance his way out of this one, Reggie boy.
You know, like lately, his pressers, he has been he's been picking fights with the media. He has been sidestepping questions. He's been, basically being like this nice little PR type of guy for the Jets, making everything look good and sound good. Sort of like a presidential campaign. I think that's what the great Michael Kay said on his own radio show. It's like a presidential campaign. You're running for
So is
office.
your so is your PR getting as better as our PR?
Well, the PR has always been bad, but the Jets have always been terrible,
We've
terrible.
always joked on this show that the Giants are basically the Jets with good PR.
Yeah. and right now a better quarterback running the helm. So everything looks good for the Giants. But being real, Bill, you know, this team right now is in trouble,
They are.
and they are
Dude, they
they have the number one pick in the draft right now. That's how bad it is. They
dude,
are
let me
the
ask you
only
something.
winless team. They are the only winless team in football.
Let me ask you something. Is Aaron Glenn one and done this year?
I think I would give him a season just so that he can learn what it's like to be a head coach. And
No,
then,
I think the same way, and as I know Jet fans are going to hate me for saying this, I would say give him one more season.
yeah, here's my thing because I am trying to be patient with him. I really am. I lose as many of you know, we're New York sports fans. We lose patience very quickly. Um, no, man, look, all I want is not to be embarrassing watching these games. And both games, sorry, I can't speak today. I'm just too sad. I'm just too sad about this football team. They continue to give me nightmares. The bottom line is watching the Jets is embarrassing. And the one thing that I said to the Jets during the offseason was you got to get it right, and I want to be respected. No team is going to respect us, not even the Carolina Panthers. By the way, they're at 500 right now, in case you guys haven't seen their game yesterday. So,
Yeah, the Carolina Panthers who beat Dallas yesterday. Mark, where are you?
hiding.
Come on, Mark. We know Jerry Jones is getting fined up the yin yang.
Hmm.
Time for you to man up a little bit here, pal.
Yeah. Um, so that's where we're at with the Jets. They're a horrible, inept franchise again, breaking
And
the
like,
hearts of the people, of the good people. State of New York, state of New Jersey, state of Connecticut that invest their time, money, energy, you name it, to support this franchise. And you can't give them a winner. It's frustrating, Bill. It's
but
very
it's if you're listen, I'm just going from the outside looking in here, my brother. Um, yeah, if you're a Jets fan, this has got to be frustrating right now. And yeah, so the Jets disaster. And you know what? I thought the Jets were going to be better. They got rid of Saleh, they got rid of Douglas, they got rid of Rodgers. But you know the old saying, Reg. You know what they say. You put lipstick on a pig, it's still a pig.
but here's another thing that and this is the thing that I've been saying. This is why you go after people with experience. If you hired a Rex Ryan, if you hired a John Gruden, if you went after Pete Carroll, and I know Pete Carroll's struggling in Vegas, um, the Jets would not be what we're seeing right now. I
I
know,
agree.
as a matter of fact, I was texting the great name Moser. He obviously doesn't agree because he hates the Jets. Let's call it like it is. Um, I said that with John Gruden, the Jets would be 5-1. And I'm not over exaggerating. I think with John Gruden, this Jet team be better. I think with Rex, this Jet team, with this crap would not be happening under Rex. With Rex, they'll probably be 3-3.
They would be 3-3.
And you know, they need to do some massive soul searching. You know, especially look when they couldn't even do a 2 minute drill properly at the end of both halves, especially the end of the first half, which pissed me off. If you watch Sunday Silent Report, you saw me go crazy over the fact that the Jets could not complete a 2 minute drill. The end of that.
Reggie boy, tell us how you really feel.
Well, I think the voices can. speak for itself. Yeah.
All right, so disaster in Florham Park. Now, let's talk about the other games, some that were actually worth watching yesterday. So we talked about the Thursday night game. We just talked about the Jet Broncos game. We got the Colts beating the Cardinals 31 to 27. Daniel Jones is still on a tear.
Yeah, man. A massive tear. This was
Why
the.
couldn't you do this for us?
I think he just needed to get out of New York, man.
No, I agree.
I think he just needed a change of pace. Now, the Cardinals, I think they were, if I'm not mistaken, they were winning this game, and the Colts had to come back to win.
They
Um,
did.
good stuff. Jacoby Brissett had a decent day, 2 touchdowns, one interception. Jones is he's unbelievable, man. Like, really, congratulations to Daniel Jones. Congratulations to Indy. They're 5-1 to start the season, and it could get better. It could get better. That's the part that's so nuts about this.
No, I agree.
Oh man.
And so, anyway, we go and
Well,
the
Jonathan,
Chargers
oh,
beat the
oh,
Dolphins 29 to 27.
mm.
All I gotta say is, in my money league with my two flex quarterbacks, I'm dropping Tua. I have to.
You
It's
still
got to be
have,
done.
you still have him starting? I mean, you didn't have an awful day. That's not true. You
No,
had
after the games he's been having yesterday, I had
yeah,
him yesterday. My two quarterbacks in that league were Justin Herbert, who got two TDs and 264. Respectable. Thank you, Justin Herbert. God bless.
yeah.
And Sam Darnold, who actually had a decent game yesterday.
Yeah, no,
So
two's been trash. I'm calling it like it is. He's not.
Tua's got to go on my fantasy team. I'm sorry. This is when I should have listened. My buddy Steve, shout out to you, where I should have listened to his 2-year-old son who told me to draft Stafford. Out of the mouth of babes, Reg. Out of the mouth of babes. I should have listened to Finn, Steve. I should have listened to Finn.
Yeah. What was it?
Um,
Three interception on the day for Tua?
let me look at the box score.
Oh, he was terrible.
3. Yeah,
He
so in the
to
word
turn the ball over. Tua turned the ball over.
in the
That's
words of one of my favorite
awful.
90s songs ever, ain't no lie, baby. Bye, 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 bye. Yeah, so Tua's going off my fantasy team tomorrow.
Yeah,
So anyway,
horrible, horrible. Chargers,
Patriots
good win by the Chargers. They get back on the winning track. After
ain't
losing two in a
no
row.
stopping them now. They're on the move.
The game it was closer than we thought, which is a problem. I think the issues are more with the LA. Miami, we know who they are. There are a lot of issues with LA that they need to clean up. They cannot have these close games. They cannot have these close games against bad teams like the Dolphins. They can't. Um, Patriots going on the road to New Orleans, a very competitive New Orleans team. And they ended up winning 25-19.
Was right on that game.
Yeah. Good
These
job.
Patriots.
Well, but here's where I was right. The fact that they're competitive. You
I'll
cannot
give
look
you
at
that,
this,
Reggie. I will give you that. They were
you cannot
competitive.
look at this Saints team and be like, ah, well, they stink. No, they don't stink. They just don't know how to win yet. That's the problem. They don't know how to shut the door, close the deal. Once they can get to that point, they're probably a playmaker or two away. Once they get to that, this team's gonna be unstoppable. Like, I'm very impressed with New Orleans. This is a very tough Patriots team.
Okay, next one. The Steelers beat the Browns 23 to 9.
Yeah, the tale of Aaron Rodgers absolutely beating up on bad teams.
Yeah, let's just call it what it is.
But
And
I'm sorry. I'm not impressed by Pittsburgh. I don't care what anyone says. Look, they're in a terrible, what we now know is a terrible division. Um, They're in a bad division. Bengals suck, Browns suck, Ravens suck. The Steelers are now torturing bad teams. That's what we've known. When every time they face a good team, it's either they win ugly or they lose bad. So, not impressed by the Steelers, but I'm glad that they are one step closer to winning that AFC North.
And the we brought this game up yesterday, and I get to rub this into old ops guy's face.
Mhm.
The Carolina Panthers beat the Dallas Cowboys 30 to 27.
Mhm.
Mark, you're a little quiet over there.
A little too quiet.
A little too quiet there, Marky Mark.
Yeah, he's hiding under the covers right now,
Marky Mark's a little too quiet right now. But you
Yeah.
know what? I will give Marky Mark this. The one thing he can hold over our heads is the two wins were against our teams. That's the one thing he can hold over our heads right now.
Uh, how about Bryce Young, man? Look, of course he's gonna get some turnovers, whatever. Um, but he had three touchdowns and 199 yards passing, leading to a massive victory. Massive, massive, massive victory. The Carolina rushing attack is very good. Very, very, very good. Yeah, Dowdle with 183 yards rushing, 30 carries. Like this this team right now is impressing me too. They're not a great team. I don't know if they're gonna go to the playoffs. They're 500 right now, and they're thinking things in the NFC. So, you know, just throwing that out there.
Okay, Rams. Sorry, Seahawks beat the Jaguars 20 to 12, and Jets legend Sam Darnold.
Mhm. Dude, what I tell you about Sam Darnold, man? People keep disrespecting Sam Darnold. Why? 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 The dude's a stud. Give him give him weapons like Jackson Smith and Jigba. Give him
Exactly.
give him weapons. Give him a good offensive system that he can work under, and he's going to be great. He's going to be just fine. So, good job by Sam. Yesterday against the Jaguars, I called this game. I thought the Seahawks were much better. You know, like the Jaguars. Look, I think the Jags. I'm impressed with them. I thought they had a great victory over the Chiefs, but the Seahawks, man, I had no issue with. Defensively, they were spectacular, only allowing 12 points, no touchdowns. Well, that's not true. They had two touchdowns, but the missed extra points. But you get my point. They're not good.
Okay, the Rams beat the Ravens 17 to 3. The Raiders beat the Titans 20 to 10. Green Bay Packers, Patchy's happy about this, beat the
Mhm.
Cincinnati Bengals 27 to 18.
Mhm.
The Bucks. Dude, the Bucks, man.
Baker Mayfield leading a victory 30 to 19 final score over the San Francisco 49ers. Baker Mayfield has reached elite status. Elite status.
Hey,
He
Mac Jones didn't have a bad game yesterday, though, either.
he didn't have a terror. He had two interceptions, but it wasn't the numbers don't let it mislead you. It actually wasn't a terrible day. Um
And the Chiefs beat the Lions 30 to 17. Are the Chiefs coming back?
um with that performance, you hope so.
Patrick Mahomes looking like Patrick Mahomes.
Mhm.
Who is that? Patchy makes fun of him all the time. Who's the commentator? Goes, you know what that reminds me of? Patrick Mahomes.
Does he talk about Collinsworth?
Yeah, I think it is Collinsworth. Patrick Mahomes.
Mhm.
You
What
know who I look at a picture over the roof of my bed before I lay down with my wife? Patrick Mahomes. He loves Patrick. Collinsworth loves Patrick Mahomes. Bunch of other jokes I can make about that, but yeah, I just gave you like the PG version.
yeah. Um,
I don't think Mark wants his kids watching me making very inappropriate jokes about Collinsworth's love for Patrick Mahomes.
oh Jesus. Um, and then of course we have Monday Night Football. We have two Monday Night Football games actually, which is crazy. Um,
Yeah, two
Bills
Monday Night Football games tonight. We got the
Bills Falcons in
and the
Atlanta
Bears and the Commanders.
and Commanders.
Hey, I just want to say to Nate Moser, you're gonna redeem yourself tonight. Get out of your crying wing coma from last week. Get out of the coma, buddy. You guys are gonna win tonight. What do you think?
Yeah, I think the Bills are gonna be fine. The Falcons are not as good as the Patriots are, so they should be fine. Uh,
And
I'm never worried about the Buffalo Bills. The Bills, you know, they're going to be running the AFC East. I don't care what anyone says. They're going to be just fine.
and the Bears are playing the Commanders tonight.
Yeah, in Maryland. Let's keep reminding them until they move to Washington that they play in Maryland. Um, Still waiting on a status of Debo. Obviously, no McLaurin. Jaden Daniels obviously playing, but you know, still playing with a bad knee. So um let's see if the Bears can take advantage. They're 2-2. Um and coming off a bye. Let's see what they can do, man. Well rest.
Yep.
Um and they're on the road, so that's it's not a major plus, but it's good. You know they could. Let's see what they could do about it. So, um, be very interesting. That's your NFL uh, week 6. The 49ers did they lost a major player again. Fred Warner, one of their top linebackers, broke his leg and also dislocated it. Um, his foot when he got injured was in a complete position that I don't even want to describe. It's so gruesome. He's out for the season, and just another devastating blow for San Francisco, who loses another top player. I mean, the amount of players that this San Francisco team is losing is just remarkable, especially on the defensive side. It is remarkable how many players this team is losing. And I just feel absolutely, absolutely bad for this franchise. I feel bad for San Francisco, and I really hope that for the rest of the season, they do not lose anybody else.
I hope so too.
No.
So anyway, we go from the gridiron to the diamond. Last night was game one of the American League Championship Series,
Yeah, man.
and the Seattle Mariners have defeated the Toronto Blue Jays in game one by a score of 3-1.
A pitcher's duel. I know Miller gave up the early first pitch home run to George Springer, who you know basically was the only jolt into that Blue Jays hitting. It was one of two hits. Um, but since then, settled in very nicely. He went 6 innings. with three strikeouts. Again, not the most impressive numbers, but the big thing is that he got out against this very tough Blue Jays lineup, and all it took was a sixth inning where Kevin Gausman kind of lost it. Kevin Gausman went 5 2/3. He gave up the home run to Cal Raleigh, which tied the game, and then of course the rest of that lineup in Seattle, they just went on base. Jorge Polanco drove in Julio Rodriguez, and that was the game. That was the game. The Blue Jays had no confidence hitting all night. It was absolutely, absolutely stellar. Great win by the Seattle Mariners to take game one, and they now have the advantage in the series.
Yeah, and you know what? I thought they were going to be sluggish that because you came off probably one of the best games in playoff history.
Yeah.
But no, Seattle stayed on. And I'm thinking, okay, Toronto, they had a few extra days to rest.
Well, the thing that surprised me was the approach at the plate. I mean, and look, Miller wasn't throwing anything crazy, and his numbers aren't the best either. But I'm just very shocked that a lot of what the Blue Jays were doing to the Yankees, they did not do against the Mariners, which is get on base, find ways to get on base, whether that's a base hit, whether that's um, walking, whatever it is, and then driving in runs, manufacturing runs. It's as if they were trying to get that big time power hit, whether that was a big time double or a big time home run. Like I was pretty shocked by that. But again, it's kudos to the Mariners for not allowing that to happen. So again, good stuff by Seattle. One game lead in this series. Terrific stuff. Terrific way to start.
Terrific. Amazing. Beautiful.
Hmm.
Absolutely beautiful.
And then
So,
that series continues tonight.
game two
Um,
tonight, 5 o'clock.
5 o'clock start. Ugh. What kind of playoff game starts at 5 o'clock? That is
I don't know. Go talk to the networks.
that's awful. Well, I know why. It's because the Dodgers are playing at 8 o'clock. That's why. They have
Exactly.
they have their game one against the Brewers. That game is going to take place in Milwaukee. Um, we still don't have a starter for the Brewers, but we do know that Blake Snell will go for the Dodgers. And this is going to be a great series. These are the two NL powerhouses here.
Yes, absolutely.
Man, I think with this series, Bill, I think that the Dodgers may have the upper hand based on experience because both teams can hit. But I
Yes.
think that the pitching experience that they have, I think that may help them because I don't know what the Brewers are going to be like. But let's see. Milwaukee after um, a crushing blow in 2024, losing that wild card series to the Mets. They have recovered nicely, becoming the top team in the NL. And look, the Cubs took them to 5 games, but the Brewers came back. They won, and right now they're looking good. So Milwaukee, whatever happens in this series, has had a tremendous season, and they have a chance to win the pennant.
Yes, they do. So anyway, let's move right along. And so yeah, game one of the NLCS tonight. And I'm still sticking by my prediction, Brewers and Mariners. I'm sticking by that prediction. Reg, what's yours?
I'm
And if you
staying with
pass, I'm
Blue.
gonna smack you.
Look, I'm impressed by the Mariners. I am very impressed. They now have the home field advantage. Um, but I still think when it's all said and done, the Blue Jays are going to go to the World Series. They'll face the Dodgers.
Okay.
I think
So it's
with
like,
I think the Dodgers with their World Series experience, I just think it's going to be too much for Milwaukee.
so it's going to be you got the favorites, I got the wild cards.
Yep. How special would a Brewers Mariners World Series be? You got two
It
sworn
kind of be a breath of fresh air.
like that'd be kind of cool. Like, it's different. It's different. And look, these all these teams, they have more than 90 wins on the season. You know, so it truly is a great, great, great series that we're looking at here on both ends. You have good teams going after good teams, and I think baseball's done a very nice job with this playoff.
I think so too. Okay, I think that's all the baseball news, right? Um,
Yeah.
there's something we forgot to touch upon this the other day.
Mhm.
I think it's something we touched upon last week. Loyola University chaplain Sister Jean passed away.
Yeah, it's Jean Dolores Schmidt, um, the absolute crown jewel of Loyola Chicago. Um, it's funny, Bill, because when I lived in Detroit for that year in 2017 to 2018, um, I actually lived with two people that went to Loyola Chicago and actually knew Sister Jean, which is wild. Um,
What did they say she was like?
oh, I mean that nothing but great things, nothing but the sweetest, kindest person you will ever meet. Very uplifting, very inspiring, and um, you know, based on what I've heard about her, based on how people talk about her, it's absolutely she was an incredible person. And of course, she was herself during the Loyola Ramblers NCAA basketball run. She was literally being herself. She was no different from the average person, but she was being herself in that moment. She was not,
You know what? I think she won over the hearts of so many people
yeah,
because I remember it was the 2021 March Madness. People were because we were still in COVID, still did miss the pandemic. And
right.
people were like, oh my God, is Sister Jean gonna be there? Is Sister Jean gonna be there? Is Sister Jean gonna be there? And I remember she got an interview. They're like, good morning. Yeah, I'll be there because I got vaccinated.
Yeah.
And yeah, just she seemed like such a sweet lady. And she dedicated her life for the Lord,
Yeah.
and she loved being the chaplain for this team. And college basketball lost a legend. And R.I.P.
Yeah.
Sister Jean, eternal rest grant unto her, O Lord.
Yeah.
She was a good person.
And for many basketball players that went through Loyola Chicago, a sense of pride and a sense of hope. Like every time she would bless them before a game, you can tell that everything was being felt. Like her presence there alone in prayer was being felt by that whole team, regardless of whether they're Catholic or Baptist or maybe not religious or whatever it is. You know, like they felt that presence. And that's a beautiful thing, man.
It really is. And even if you're not a religious person, you could still appreciate that.
You know,
And but we can't ignore the elephant in the room here, dude. She was 106 years old.
Another thing, like what
God
I want
bless.
I want her genes. And look, maybe I have it. My grandma's 101. You know, um, yeah, man. Like for those of you that are sad, don't be sad. She lived a great life. She lived a great life of service and bringing hearts and uplifting the community. And she was 106 years old. Like,
Like, listen, if I could live half the life she lived, I'd be
like
happy.
Jesus. Like, I'll take 50 and I'll be like, yeah, you know what? I think I'm good. You
If
know,
I could live half the life she did, then I'm happy.
like,
So,
holy crap. So,
rest in peace, Sister Jean. Thank you for your service to Loyola Chicago, and thank you for your service for the Lord. And
yeah,
plus, you know, something I forgot about, but then I remembered. Big college football news this week. Jeff Franklin is out at Penn State.
yeah, my former coworker, who's a huge Penn State guy, um, he went to Happy Valley. Um,
I'm very happy about this.
yeah, no, a lot of mixed reactions. A lot of people were upset. A lot of people who felt it was time to go after the UCLA game, which, you know,
Jeff
understand.
Franklin was one of the most overrated coaches in college football.
Well, but most importantly, it wasn't like Penn State was a big powerhouse, you know?
And and you know what? I'm still hey Franklin, you know why I'm still ragging on you? Never forget what you said to Marcus Freeman
Hmm.
last year before the Notre Dame Penn State game. Never forget. I'm never forgetting that, Jeff. I'm not calling you coach anymore. I'm calling you Jeff. You said, well, to be in the bowl game, you have to be in the conference. You said that right to Marcus Freeman's face, and then he hit your ass. So, Jeff, my brother in Christ, never forget.
Well,
I tip my hat to you.
yeah.
Not really, but I
Um,
wish you the best in your future endeavors.
Now is he getting a good buyout? Uh,
I don't
Million?
know.
What's his buyout? Oh. His buyout. Penn State paid nearly $50 million to fire the coach. Wow, 50 million. Oh my God. Enjoy your $50 million. $49
And
million.
you know what? If you're walking out with
Whatever
50
it is.
million, you have
$49
nothing to
million.
complain about.
You get your free 49 mil. Chill out. Like just get away. Get away from any Big
You have
Ten.
nothing to complain about.
You'll be fine. Um, in any case. SIP on a Monday. Just get to our sponsor real quick. The Dugout of Millwood. We appreciate the Dugout of Millwood for sponsoring this pod. Uh, Mark Halpern, he hosts the One of One. I don't know when his next car break is, but whenever his car break is, it's on YouTube. This very YouTube page. So please subscribe, like all of our videos, support our content. Uh, we really appreciate you. We love you. We thank you. And once again, thank you to the Dugout of Millwood for sponsoring this pod. Um, we're on every Monday and mostly Friday. I know we had to do it Saturday, but mostly
Yeah, 'cause
Friday.
things came up last week, so we plan on doing it Friday this week.
Yes.
So you start your week with us and you end your week with us.
Yeah. Enjoy the baseball and the football. There's a big night in sports. Enjoy all of it.
Yeah, have fun. Enjoy some football, enjoy some baseball.
Yeah. We appreciate you. We love you. We thank you for always joining us. Um, See you at the end of the week.
Yeah, have a good week. We'll see you then.
Bye.